Hi, this is the last part of our review for the final. So I'm going to go over the remainder of the review, and then I'm also going to show you a review of while loops. That's a demo that I posted in the review section of the D2L site. So let's look at this first. We're doing option-based 0 here, which means array indexes will start at 0 instead of 1. And we have a two-dimensional array, 5, 5, and these 5s mean that the top index, the highest index you can use on each dimension is 5. And now we're having two integers, and first we have a nested loop that sets every element of this array to be 0, and then we have another nested loop that sets certain elements to be 1. So the question is, for each of the following array elements, indicate whether it is set to 0 or 1 when this code finishes. Now, okay, as I said, this first pair of loops, if you look at it, it's going through every value of j, and in the inner loop, it's going through every value of k. So, first thing that happens is every element is set to 0. And then here, we're going through every value of j, but for each j, we just go from k equals 0 to j. So, only certain elements are being set to 1. So for 0, 0, well, when j is 0, k goes to 0. So element 0, 0 will indeed be 1. So the right answer here is 1. Element 0, 5. Well, when j equals 0, k only goes to 0. So element 0, 5 will not be set to 1. It'll remain 0. And finally, for 5, 0, when j is 5, k will go from 0 to 5. So every element, j equals 0, 0, 0, 5, 0, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, and 5, 5 will all be set to 1, so including 5, 0 here. So this is a 1. Okay. What cell reference corresponds to cell B4 in an Excel spreadsheet? Well, remember how these work. This is row 4. So you know you're looking for a 4 in the first position with the cells notation. And then B is column 2. So the answer is going to be D. Okay. Answer true or false. It is safe to open Excel spreadsheets from an unknown source that may contain macros. Totally false. Don't want to do that. It could be a virus. VBA indexing typically starts at 1, not 0. I'm going to say true. You could argue anyway. That's actually kind of a bad question in a way. The container for VBA code is typically a workbook. Yes. The container for VBA code is typically an individual spreadsheet. No, that's false. VBA code can change the files on your computer. Oh, absolutely. In fact, we've seen it read files, but it can also write them, delete them, whatever. Which tab contains the commands for recording VBA macros and setting the macro security levels? That would be the developer tab, answer B. What cell does this correspond to? Okay, what's row 5, column 3? So column 3, ABC. You know it's a C, and then it's 5. So the answer here is B. Okay, that finishes the formal review. And now let me show you this demo here. So what this is a while loop. I'm going to enter the number 10. It goes through the loop, and I'll show you the code in a minute. It starts with ready to begin loop. It does the value of the loop, and you can see it's subtracting 3 each time. And when it's finished, it's also computing the sum. So let's take a look at the code and see what's happening. All right. We read a number from the text box. In this case, we entered 10. We have a variable j, which we set equal to that number, and a sum which starts at 0. And here, before the loop starts, we print out in the list box, ready to begin loop. So notice that because this is before the loop, it prints before anything the loop prints, and it only prints once. It's only things inside the loop that get repeated. So now inside the loop, the first thing we do is print j. Well, it's initially 10, so we're going to print a 10. Then we add the 10 to the sum, and we subtract 3 from j. So when we finish this loop, the sum is 10 and j is 7. Coming back, 7 is still greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to print the 7, add 7 to the sum, which will give us 17. Subtract 3 from 7, that'll give us 4. Coming around again, 4 is still greater than or equal to 0. We print a 4, we add 4 to the sum, so that gives us 21. We subtract 3, which gives us 1 left, and come back again. Now this time, we have a 1, still greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to print the 1, add 1 to our 21, which gives us 22, subtract 3, which gives us minus 2, and when we come back again, this condition is no longer true, so we're done. At that point, j is minus 2, and the sum is 22. Okay, you should be able to do a problem like this without the computer. So what you should do is download this, and the first thing, just run it as it is, see if you can predict exactly what will print in that answer box. And then try different values for the limit. See if you can predict that. And then try changing this line. Instead of subtracting 3, subtract 1 or 2 or 5 or some other number, and see if you can predict everything that will print. This will be really good practice for you in studying for the while loop questions on the exam. Okay, done.